Welcome back, crafty friends. I have got some really fun backgrounds for you today that we are making. So if you're interested to see how I made these, then keep on watching. Okay, everyone, for this card, we are using from scrapbook.com some nested stars. For this, you could certainly use any other kind of nested dies. And then this piece of paper here is actually removable sticker paper, which I will have linked for you below. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I buy crafty things and then they never get used, and then I find something to use it for. I think I have had this paper in my stash for a couple years. I have no idea what it was originally intended for, but when I thought about using it for nesting dies to create some fun masking backgrounds, it is working really well. So I am putting these dies on my magnetic mat here. These two right here, I'm going to want to use that inner piece that it creates, okay? At least that's how I want to do mine. You can do different ones here. I'm going to go ahead and add in the next two smallest sizes here, because again, I'm going to use those two to create a outline as well that I'm going to want to use. So we're using the big outline here and then the inner outline for this card. So we're going to cut these out. I'm going to go ahead and do a few extra of these. And as you can see, as I take these away, you're going to see all those different pieces here that you can use. I'm going to do a couple more smaller ones because that way I can have some more stars here on the background. So I'll go ahead and do a few extras. Now, once we kind of take these apart, there is going to be more on here that I'm going to use. So you can certainly save these for a different card or a different project if you want. Now that I've kind of picked out the ones here that I want to use for this background, I'm just going to kind of play a little bit, see how I want these to kind of go, how I envision this background. Now for this, this is a A2 panel that has already been trimmed down just slightly smaller than that. I went ahead and did that before I did my ink blending. That way it's the size that I want. Getting these attached on here, and they hold up really well, and were easy to remove later as well. So I kind of love this. All right, now that we've gotten some of these on, I'm going to add some of the little stars down here. You just want to place these wherever you want on your background to give you the look that you're interested in. So I'm going to be using watermelon ink, creamsicle ink, and buttercup ink. These are from Concord and 9th. And I'm going to do just a nice blend here, starting out with that watermelon here on the kind of top half, and I'm kind of doing that just a little bit at an angle. And then from there we're going to go and move to the opposite side here with the buttercup. I loved this color combination. It's just really bright, colorful. I just really love how these colors turned out. Now I'm just going to peel up these masks that we have created here. They peel up really easily. You could reuse them, but I would say probably not. You would need to make something different. I think it would be hard, at least for some of the stars, to reuse, maybe if it was a different shape. But they peel off perfectly. They don't leave any kind of residue or anything behind, and there was no bleeding. So these really work well for this. And again, I use removable sticker paper I got from Amazon. I will link that below if it is still available or something similar. You could use some of the Gina K masking tape for this as well. I love how this turned out. It's super cute. Now we are going to be using from Concord and 9th the Carpe Denim dies and coordinating stamp set. This came out a couple years ago, but it is so cute with those little denim jackets. And I picked this up a couple months ago, and then they had this on big time sale last month for their June. And so there's lots of little dies included in this set to create little kind of patches or pieces of flair to attach to your jacket. So I have gone ahead and die cut several of those out, and then I just ink blended over those. I cut them all from white and then added those on. Now for the little stamp set, I'm using the sentiment, "It's your day to shine," and adding that to the back of our jacket here. And then I'm just going to add on some different pieces of that flare. There's a little peace sign that was really cute, a star, a flower, a heart. There were just so many fun little things that you could add. I really wanted this one to be colorful, so I added as many as I thought fit. There's also a really cute little inlay rainbow that you can add, and I've decided to add that here in the middle because, like I said, I wanted to put all of the things on this one. So I have just glued these straight on to that jacket. And then I've decided I wanted to do another little sentiment down here at the bottom. I did some heat embossing with that, and that is, "You are all kinds of awesome." And so I've got that added on here. I went ahead and cut that one down pretty thin to add on the front of that card. Again, this is going to go on a top folding A2 card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I just put that straight on with some liquid adhesive and attach that to the front. Now for the jacket, we're going to put that up on some foam tape. I'm using some 2mm foam tape and also a thin strip for that sentiment, which I think is really cute. But of course, a card like this, I like to add a little bit of sparkle. And so for this, I decided to go ahead in the background and add a little bit of sparkle there. And these are from Simon Says Stamp. This is their Clearly Positively Dazzling Gems. These are really fun. I picked some of these up when I was at Simon Says Create. I love adding a little bit of sparkle to a card, and the clear ones are a great way to do that. And I think this has turned out really super cute and fun, creating these backgrounds. Now for our next project, we are going to be using something different. So this is a stencil from Altenew called the Rounded Rectangles Mask Stencil. Okay, so if you want a stencil that does this is a perfect thing. So it has all these, instead of inlay dies, it's like an inlay for rectangles. So I am attaching this on to my sticky mat. Now for this one, you got to get a little creative because we want to, it's not going to adhere to your cardstock. Okay, you could certainly try some like removable tape. I personally didn't find that that worked well. So what I'm showing you here is what I prefer to use. So I'm attaching those on there, and I'm using the opposite ones just to make sure I get that centered. And once I have that where I want, I am going to be using some mint tape. And since I'm going to be doing 3 different ink colors, I'm going to start that in the middle. That way I can start ink blending from the outside. Now for these, I'm also using some colors from Concord. This is a very different color palette here. I am using the colors Lakefront, Pimento, and Clementine. And since, like I said, I'm doing the kind of same thing as I did in the other one, we're starting from one side here with the lakefront, and then we're going to be moving over to the other side, and we've got that tape kind of holding that down. Now that we want to move to the middle, I'm going to rearrange my mint tape here to cover the ends of my panel. That way I can do the ink blending here in the middle. That way I'm not disturbing any of those stencils. And then I'm just adding the pimento here in the middle. And I think this one turned out really cute as well. Very different color palette, but I really like this one as well. So you're just going to peel these off and reveal. And so for this one, I did a black jacket with that cute little sentiment. You've got this and a couple little pieces of flare. Just figure out how I want this to go. This will again go on a top folding A2 note card, just as the other one. And I am adding some clear gems here, very similar to the ones Concord and Ninth has. Okay, y'all, here is a final look at our cards. I love this. I think this turned out super cute. I can't wait to try this with some other nested dies. There's so many options that you could use here. I love this one. And then this is the second one that we made using those masking stencils. That's a great thing. I know I've got more of those, I believe from Simon Says Stamp and some other ones. So those are definitely something you can find. But I feel like a lot of us have nesting dies on hand. So love how this one turned out. I really love how the colors came about. For the colors on this one, just a little side note, I use the Color Cube 531 here as my inspiration with these three colors here. And I just think that looks really great against that black coat. And then I have a bonus one here using the same color palette with the first one. For this, I just use different width mint tape and just made a little striped background and did my ink blending. So that is a really simple way. If you want to do some masking, you could probably do this as well, creating something very similar to this one with the rectangle. And I think that would be really easy here. And this one, I did some kind of little color gems, but these were really fun. I love making this, and honestly, I've been really wanting to use this cute little die set that I had picked up from Concord Night that I just have not yet to use. So creating some fun backgrounds was a great way to do that. If this is the kind of videos that you like, I upload videos weekly, so please give this a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and I will catch you on the next one.